गुड। सब 11 के 11 की आवाज सुनाई देने चाहिए।
गुड
ओके।
मॉर्निंग सर।
हाँ। ओके सो थोड़ा रिव्यू कर रहे हैं इसलिए थोड़ा फास्ट जा रहे हैं। सो यू हैव टू बेयर विथ टिल वी डू दिस रिव्यू। और रोशन, तुमने मुझे क्वेश्चंस भेजे हैं, वी विल आंसर दैट, नॉट टुडे बट मैं आपको उसका रिप्लाई करूंगा। ओके, so this is lecture 3. We are still reviewing thermal properties. थोड़ा लास्ट सेशन में जो हमने किया था उसका ओवरलैप भी होगा, so you bear with that. We had this device. ये आपको मैं मेरा सजेशन है that all of you sit with pencil and paper or pen and paper and you do write down when I tell you okay this you can copy down, because there are things which you should learn to write down. जैसे क्लास में आप लोग लिखते हैं ना वैसे, हालांकि I will still give you the copy, but to have written it down yourself would make a big difference in remembering those things. For example, this device which is shown here, this diagram, say I remember this from my students' days. And with Cartesian sign convention, I can easily generate four potentials. So you should draw this and write it down. And after you write it down, check the signs and the terms with what you see on the screen. So we'll start with G. So please write it down. What should you get for G? dg is equal to, आप लोग लिखिए, 2 मिनट 1 मिनट के इंटरवल में मैं इसको रिवील करता हूँ। आप लोग लिखिए। अभी यहाँ पे इतना डायलॉग पॉसिबल नहीं होगा, क्योंकि आप लोग पूरे सारा क्लास मेरे सामने नहीं है, सो एक एक का नाम लेके मैं 11 लोगों को नहीं बुला सकता। दैट विल बी अ टाइम कंस्ट्रेंट। सो प्लीज राइट इट डाउन योर सेल्फ and cross check. So your learning and your ability to uh, write the correct relation also will improvise. So I told you to write for Gibbs potential, G. In this case, I will tell you. See, pressure is a variable on the right, so it will have a positive sign. But temperature is a variable on the left or below, so it will have a negative sign. Right and above positive sign, left and below negative sign. So dg will be s minus s dt plus v dp, minus s dt plus v dp. In the same fashion, you write for enthalpy dh, you write for internal energy du, and you write for Helmholtz potential df, and you see. So first you write for dh, and then I'm with a bit of time delay, I will go to the next equation. You should be able to get absolute appropriate sign. And any of you make a mistake and you don't know how you made a mistake and what should have been the correct one or why your answer is not correct, let me know. You can speak, so I will try to explain if you make that mistake. So Helmholtz, sorry, I said enthalpy. But first came a Helmholtz free energy. You want, you can still write Helmholtz free energy first, and then I'll again reveal the equation. So df has two variables, V volume and T temperature. So obviously, the terms will be S dt and P dV. Uh, Now you have to choose what would be the appropriate sign. Yes. Can someone tell me? Let's say, is Priyanka there? Hello, Priyanka. Is Priyanka present?
Hello.
Yes, Priyanka. DF will have two terms, SDT and PDV. What would be their sign?
SDT minus
Uh,
minus
which which term will be minus?
minus SDT
Okay, and PDV term
plus
Y plus. See, whatever is to the left is negative. Whatever is below is also negative.
will
So
you explain it again?
in Cartesian coordinate system, whatever is to the right is positive. Whatever is above your origin is positive. Correct?
Yes.
Whatever is below is negative. Whatever is to the left is also negative. So if you look at
Yes.
F, V is below and T is to the left.
Yeah. So
So
it
both
will be
will have
negative.
negative sign. Both will be negative. So both are
Yes.
negative. Okay. Uh, Next is enthalpy. So all of you write for H. Let's say what would you get? Yes, Lorita, is she there? Lorita, are you there?
Yes, sir. Sir,
Yes,
TDS plus VDP.
TDS plus.
VDP.
Very good, very good. See, one is above it and the other is to the right. So both are positive sign.
Right.
How about U? So what will be DU? Who will answer this? Harshdeep. हर्षदीप है क्या नहीं वहां पर?
हेलो
हाँ हर्षदीप, टेल मी
हेलो
what will be du? Can you hear me?
हेलो
I can hear you, Harshdeep. Can you hear me?
यस सर अभी आवाज है सर
हाँ.
यस सर यस
So
सर
now, yes. So now tell me what will be du?
माइनस VDT प्लस TDS
देखो, यू के लिए दो वेरिएबल है, एस एंड वी. एस के साथ टेम्परेचर जाता है और वी के साथ प्रेशर होगा. तो योर टर्म्स विल बी टीडीएस एंड पीडीवी. अब कौन सी पॉजिटिव होगी कौन सी नेगेटिव होगी ये बताओ.
सर सर TDS में तो नेगेटिव जाएगा
टीडीएस नेगेटिव क्यों होगा? इट्स अबोव यू. यू के ऊपर है. ऊपर वालों की साइन क्या होती है?
पॉजिटिव
तो टीडीएस पॉजिटिव साइन होगा.
यस सर
और फिर दूसरे टर्म के लिए
हाँ वो दूसरा वाला नेगेटिव होगा सॉरी सर दूसरा वाला लेफ्ट में है तो नेगेटिव जाएगा
तो क्या टर्म आएगी?
माइनस TDV
माइनस पीडीवी. वेरी गुड. ओके. तो
यस सर
अभी टीडीएस तो हमारा डीक्यू है ना, बाय डेफिनेशन. तो द लास्ट इक्वेशन इज एनीवे योर इक्वेशन ऑफ फर्स्ट लॉ ऑफ थर्मोडायनेमिक्स. du इज इक्वल टू dq माइनस pdv. ये वैसे भी आपका फर्स्ट लॉ ऑफ थर्मोडायनेमिक्स है. ओके. सो ये आपके चारों पोटेंशियल को कनेक्शन है. लीजेंडर ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन से आप एक पोटेंशियल से दूसरे पोटेंशियल में ट्रांसफॉर्म कर सकते हैं. आपको क्लासिकल मैकेनिक्स में लीजेंडर ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन सिखाया होगा. तो इफ यू लुक एट इट, द फर्स्ट टर्म हियर, USV, right? So internal energy as a function of S and V here, USV. और वहां से आप पीवी ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन करेंगे तो वॉल्यूम की जगह पे प्रेशर वेरिएबल हो जाएगा एंड यू विल गेट एंथैल्पी, HSP. यहाँ से आप टेम्परेचर एंड एंट्रोपी TS ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन करेंगे तो एंट्रोपी की जगह टेम्परेचर ले लेगा. यू विल गेट गिब्स पोटेंशियल, TP. और यहाँ से सिमिलरली यू डू पीवी ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन तो प्रेशर की जगह वॉल्यूम आ जाएगा. यू विल गेट हेमोल्ड्स फ्री एनर्जी, TV. हेमोल्ड्स फ्री एनर्जी को आप अगर TS ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन करेंगे तो टेम्परेचर की जगह एंट्रोपी आ जाएगी. तो दिस इज ऑल्सो a device which shows you how you can through Legendre transformation go from one potential to another potential. This Legendre transformation you have done. Now there is one more term which has to be added here. If your number of particles can also change, then that they also carry some energy. I'm not sure that problem was there, no? A narrow neck vessel which is heated, and then you have to find out how much gas is escaping out of it. Okay, so if number of particles are changing, that also represents change in some energy. So in that case, in all these four potential, you have to add mu dn term, where mu is called chemical potential. So please note this point. यहाँ पे normally हम simple thermodynamics में इतना ही लिखते हैं, considering our system is closed and you do not allow exchange of particles with outside. But if you allow exchange, you will have to add mu dn term in all four of them. I am going to the next slide. Now see, what we will do is, as a rule, I cannot cross check with each and every student like I am in classroom. So I will ask a question and I say I am going to the next slide, and I am assuming that it is clear to all of you. किसी को भी कोई डाउट हो तो आप खुद ही बोल के डिस्टर्ब कर सकते हैं, इंटरप्ट कर सकते हैं और क्वेश्चन पूछ सकते हैं. आई होप दैट शुड बी ओके टू ऑल ऑफ यू. सो आपको अगर कोई डाउट रह जाता है तो आप खुद ही वॉलंटियर कीजिए. अभी ये क्लासरूम नहीं है. आई डोंट सी यू पीपल व्हेन आई एम मेकिंग दिस प्रेजेंटेशन. ओके, so now this is comparison of internal energy and Helmholtz free energy. So internal energy remains same when you have a free expansion. Enthalpy remains same when you have throttling process. Then of course du equal to dq minus pdv, where dq you wrote as tds, and du by dt at constant volume will give you specific heat at constant volume. And enthalpy is this tds plus vdp, and derivative of enthalpy with temperature at constant pressure will give you Cp. Okay. So in isochoric process, UF minus UI, that means change in internal energy, is the heat supplied. And in isobaric process, change in enthalpy is the heat supplied at constant pressure. And then, of course, for an ideal gas, you can integrate this. And for adiabatic process, it's an integration of PdV for change in internal energy, and it's integration of VdP for change in enthalpy. Now, this, of course, is not part of your syllabus. I'm just brushing it up as you have studied. So you should just go back and read some of these things yourself. Now, if your differential is exact, okay, I'll repeat. When I speak, you can write it down in your notebook. Suppose if I have a differential, dz is equal to m dx plus n dy. Okay, I'll repeat. dz is equal to m dx plus n dy, where m and n are functions of x and y. Then dz as a differential will be exact, which means you can straight away integrate it, provided derivative of m with respect to y is equal to derivative of n with respect to x. Dou m by dou y is equal to dou n by dou x. I'll repeat. If dou m by dou y is equal to dou n by dou x, then we say the differential dz is exact and you can integrate it. For example, in your first law of thermodynamics, dq is not an exact differential. du is, dv is, but dq is not an exact differential. And therefore, you have to understand this part very clearly. So if du is exact, then you can see here dou t by dou v equal to minus dou p by dou s. So this way it generates your first Maxwell's equation. And with all the remaining three potential, you can generate similarly three more Maxwell's equation. Unless you have a doubt or you have a question in mind, I am moving forward. So if you do not interrupt in next few seconds, I will go to the next slide. I would suggest you start with these differentials and then try and arrive at Maxwell's equation and compare what is there here. And these are the potentials. So what I was talking about, this Legendre transformation, is what you can see there. Then, of course, with the equations we have, we will be able to write some of the properties, thermodynamic property, relations between those properties in terms of differential of our physical quantities. So, of course, these two are not so obvious, but you look at Cp minus Cv. For an ideal gas, if you evaluate right-hand side, it should give you plus R. That is a very well-known relation. You should know from your 12th standard days. But this is in general for any gas, not necessarily ideal gas. Similarly, you have isentropic compressibility and you have isothermal compressibility. You remember you had uh, modulus of elasticity. So the reciprocal of modulus of elasticity is called compressibility. In this case, you have two types of compressibility you're talking about. One at constant temperature, that's isothermal, and the other at constant entropy, when there is no exchange of heat energy with the surrounding. That's called isentropic. Similarly, you have a coefficient of volume expansion, or you call it as volume expansivity, and those relations we have seen the other two. Now, for an ideal gas, your internal energy, based on all the equations, and then you do the integration and so on, will be able to write it as this particular equation. Free energy will have this expression. Enthalpy will have that expression. And Gibbs free energy will have this expression. You remember, I don't know if you remember, when you talk about a throttling process, okay, then you have what is called known as Joule-Thomson coefficient. And this throttling process is used in liquefaction of gases. If you have studied that in your, I don't know, second year, third year BSc. But based on this Joule-Thomson coefficient, we get what is known as inversion temperature. If your gas is above this temperature, then you cannot liquefy it by Joule-Thomson process, which is actually just pushing it to expand. So expansion will make the gas cool and it will liquefy. But if you are already above this temperature, you will not be able to liquefy. If you are below this temperature, then you will be able to liquefy. That's the graph of for Gibbs potential. These are some of the phase diagrams. So you can see you have two phases. Okay, and this is a Gibbs function. See how it varies. There is a kink here, okay, which means the first derivative is not continuous across the boundary. So you see the first derivative, it's not continuous. It doesn't have the same value. Now, in this case, you are seeing the first derivative with respect to temperature. Second case, you are seeing first derivative with respect to pressure. They are not continuous. So the derivatives have two different values at the same temperature. In phase one, it has got one value. In phase two, it has got some other value. And similarly, you have a heat capacity. Even heat capacity does not have the same value. In a way that we already know the specific heat of water and specific heat of water vapor, steam, are two different quantities. Okay, and so that's why there is a discontinuity. Then you have what is known as Clausius-Clapeyron equation. What you see in the numerator are the enthalpies. Okay, so this is the final enthalpy state minus initial, similarly volume. And if you simply translate this for a substance like water, when it goes through a phase transition, gas to liquid, or liquid to solid, solid to liquid, liquid to gas, then your dP by dt is simply L upon T delta V, where change in volume for the same mass of the gas molar mass, of course, or whatever is the unit of latent heat. If your latent heat is written in terms of mole, then change in volume is for 1 mole. If latent heat is written per unit mass, then change in volume is for that unit mass. And the temperature at which this phase transition takes place. So, in fact, this is what happens inside a pressure cooker. Because you increase the pressure, there is a shift in its boiling point. You increase the pressure, DT also increases. That's what happens. And that is what we are taking advantage of when we use pressure cooker. Now, if you have a magnetic system, magnetic systems also have the energy. Remember, if you have a ferromagnetic material and you heat it up, it becomes paramagnetic. That means the magnetization state has something to do with the energy of the system. So, in case of our thermodynamic potentials, uh, magnetic quantities show up in this particular fashion. Here, there is no change in pressure volume. We are talking about change of state of magnetization. So you can see uh, the first two, the variable is your dm, which is the magnetic moment or magnetization. It should be not magnetization is magnetic moments per unit volume. So it's a magnetization, and H is the magnetic field. But in the last two, your variable is magnetic field and not the magnetization. Okay, we may come to magnetic systems sometime in statistical mechanics. Now, a very important thing which we do in thermodynamics, which relates to entropy, is what is known as Gibbs paradox. So let me just say something about entropy. If you remember, the second law of thermodynamics leads you to a situation which says that in all irreversible processes, entropy of system plus universe always increases, which means any system, your universe always moves from a state to another state where entropy is higher. So the evolution of universe is from a lower entropy state to higher entropy state. This can be understood in a different manner. Uh, Entropy, in a way, is a measure of disorder. So I'll give you an example. Suppose you put one spoon of dirty water in 1 cup of pure water. What will happen? Roshan,
Yes, sir.
1 चम्मच गंदा पानी 1 कप साफ पानी में आपने डाला तो क्या होगा?
इम्प्योरिटी बढ़ेगा सर, प्योर का
प्योर पानी था
मिक्स
वो गंदा हो गया ना.
यस सर.
अब 1 चम्मच साफ पानी को 1 कप गंदे पानी में डालो
ओके,
तो साफ होना चाहिए ना पानी.
नहीं होगा.
ओके, सो दैट्स व्हाट वी मीन बाय इंक्रीज इन डिसऑर्डर. मतलब आप इस तरह से जाओ या उस तरफ से जाओ, you are getting into a situation where entropy of the system has increased. If you want to reduce entropy, you have to do the work. Okay, but this work will reduce entropy of your system, but will increase entropy somewhere else in the universe. For example, in refrigerator, you cool a substance, you are actually bringing its entropy down, but it's not free. Remember, you are if there is a place behind your refrigerator where all the heat is given out by the system. So whatever heat you have extracted out of your interior of the refrigerator, plus whatever electrical energy you supply to do the work, together are given out by refrigerator, which will end up increasing entropy of the surrounding. So if you look at the entropy of surrounding plus entropy of your refrigerator cabinet inside, total entropy will still increase. So no matter which process you are dealing with in nature, your entropy, your disorder always increases. From disorder, you want to bring it into order. Okay. Suppose if I take a clean water and I drop one drop of ink inside. Okay, this ink will slowly diffuse in the entire water. Now, it's not easy, it's not possible to get all the ink back out of it. You have to do a lot of work. You'll have to do some chemical process, some filtration, whatnot. All right. So all the work tells you that you have actually degraded the system. So increase in entropy, degradation of system, all by default, if somebody gives you a process, blindly also you can say process is irreversible because most natural processes are irreversible in nature. Okay. Let me give you an example. Suppose I have a bottle of perfume. I open it in a room. What is going to happen? Bhandari ji,
हाँ सर
there?
हाँ
If I open a bottle of perfume in a room, perfume bottle में ही है. Perfume is still inside the bottle. But I open the bottle. What will happen?
परफ्यूम रूम में स्प्रेड होने लगे.
Can you bring that perfume molecules back into the bottle?
नो सर.
Or you have increased the entropy. You have created a disorder in the system. Earlier, your perfume was all confined, okay, very well placed within a bottle. Now you can't catch those perfume molecules from the room. So disorder has increased. You can say entropy has increased. This is going to be the foundation of statistical mechanics that we are going to do. But let's first understand what is Gibbs paradox. So suppose we have two gases, gas A and gas B. Okay, both are at same temperature and pressure, but the volumes are different and number of molecules are different. And now what we are going to do, so entropy of a gas, which depends on its temperature and volume, is given by this expression here, right in front of you. So you will have total entropy as entropy of gas A plus entropy of gas B. Now, so before removing the wall, your entropy is sum of the two entropies. Now, if you remove the wall, what will happen is you have gas A, but now it is spread because both the gases have mixed up. So gas A occupying volume VA plus VB, gas B also occupying volume VA plus VB. So both of them will have their own entropy, but this term in each case will become VA and VB. What happens because of that? So that becomes your total entropy, okay, total change in the entropy. Now suppose, let's go back. So because the gases are mixed up, if I want to separate out two gases, I will have to do some work. Okay, whatever chemical process or whatever filtration you do, that is called work done. Okay, it will require you to put some energy. That is basically reflected when you say there is an increase in entropy. But suppose if both the gases were same, gas of type A and gas of type B, what I am calling as A and B, were of the same type, and I remove the partition, the two gases mixes up. And if I want to separate it back, I just put the partition back. Can I distinguish my initial state with final state? Yes, who will tell me? Shubham Shalunke? Is he there?
नंबर ऑफ हाँ सर.
अगर दोनों साइड सेम गैस है, both the sides I had the same gas, I lifted the partition, the two sides gases mixed up, I put the partition back. Okay, I did no work, but the two now got separated. Can you distinguish your system in the final state from system in the initial state? तो मैंने शुरू किया तो देखो दोनों में, सपोज दोनों में मैंने ऑक्सीजन भरा था, ठीक है?
यस सर.
और मैंने पार्टीशन को लिफ्ट किया तो दोनों साइड का ऑक्सीजन एक दूसरे के अंदर मिक्स हो गया. अब मैंने वापस पार्टीशन रख दिया, वापस दोनों साइड पे ऑक्सीजन ही है, तो इनिशियल स्टेट और फाइनल स्टेट में कोई फर्क है क्या?
No, sir.
No, sir. Correct. So there is no change. Initial state is same as final state. That was not the case when two gases were different. If you had just put the partition back, it is still not the same as initial state. So what we expect is that if gases, both the gases are of the same type, A and B are of the same type, change in entropy should be zero, and that should be reflected in my equation. If I take VA and VB, A and B are of the same type, I should get my total change in entropy to be zero. That's not happening. So the change in entropy of the system, delta S is not zero if the, delta S is not zero if the two gases are of different type, but there is a typographic here. Classically, gas molecules of the same kind are indistinguishable. Okay, I should actually rectify this. Where did it go? I was here. Should be indistinguishable. And therefore, if they are of the same type, the equation we have will still give us delta S not equal to zero, whereas we expect no change in entropy. We expect delta S to become zero if A and B were of the same type. That's not happening. That is what is known as Gibbs paradox. Means if I have two different gases and if I mix them, there is a change in entropy. But if I have two gases of the same type and if I mix them, there should not be any change in entropy. Okay. I can give you a better example. If you take 1 cup of wheat and 1 cup of rice and you mix them up, okay, and then you want to separate them out, you have to do a lot of work. Okay, so there is an entropy increase. The disorder of the system has increased. But if you had 1 cup of wheat and another cup of wheat, you mix them up, you can still separate them out without doing much work because particles are indistinguishable. Okay, and therefore the change in entropy should be zero. But my equation, which should definitely show me change in entropy to be zero, is not showing. This is known as Gibbs paradox. And one of the purpose of statistical mechanics to arrive at statistical mechanics to worry about this Gibbs paradox. Okay, this is known as Gibbs paradox. The other purpose of statistical mechanics was that whatever thermodynamic equations we have were arrived at empirically, which means we do not know physics behind it. We simply said that, okay, you know, if I have this energy and if I have this energy and they are related, pressure is related, volume is related, and these equations were created by observations, not from an understanding, not how a typical uh, physical theory would produce. So that was the reason why we had to go into statistical mechanics. Let's look at something else. Okay, so we talked about entropy as a disorder. Look at this cartoon. Say there is a debris here. At the top, what you see is a debris. And he throws a bomb. There is an explosion. And a house is created. Now, what we are familiar with is going from bottom to top. That if there is a house, somebody throws the bottom, you will see a debris. In this case, they are saying that there is a debris and you throw a bomb and it becomes a house. Okay? So we know that if you have an ordered system, it will be much easy for you to go into disordered system. But if you have a disordered system, it's not going to happen. Okay? It looks nice as a cartoon, but this cartoon is humorous because it portrays reverse of an irreversible process. Okay, the indicated sequence of events could happen but it is exceedingly unlikely that it ever would, right? But I will tell you, we want to understand that why this perfume which was in the bottle went, spread itself and went into entire room. But why that perfume doesn't go back into the bottle? Are you all interested in this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes. So now see, you may have seen this game with three cards. When I was a small child going to school, they used to play on the streets, on footpath. Okay, ek ka teen. So they have three cards put upside down. One of them is queen. So first they will show you that one of them is queen. Then they will shuffle it around. All right, and you have to spot which is the queen. So you have to bet. You have to gamble your money. So you say, okay, I put 1 rupee on this card to be the queen. If that card turns out to be the queen, he will give you 3 times your money. But if it is not queen, you lose your money. So, but one day he comes and says that, look, आज मैं एक का तीन नहीं दूंगा, आज मैं एक का दो दूंगा. Is it worth for me to play?
Yes.
I'm not teaching you how to do gambling, okay? I'm not good in gambling. I don't gamble. And if you are not lucky, no matter how intelligent you are, you lose in gambling. So, when I'm teaching you statistics, don't say that, sir, हमको जुआ कैसा खेलना सिखा रहे थे. The teacher is not teaching you gambling. I'm just discussing some statistics. If he decides to offer एक का दो, what should I do? Should I gamble or should I not gamble?
Gamble.
खेलना चाहिए सर.
नहीं नहीं
Gamble,
Not
gamble.
gamble.
नहीं
Not gamble.
खेलना
क्या खेलो कोई नहीं है.
Gamble,
Okay.
gamble.
सेम ही है.
No, no, not gamble.
Who is saying this? Not gamble. दो लोग ने बताया. Who are the two?
Priyanka.
Priyanka. Yes, Priyanka. Now you tell us why I should not gamble.
Because it's giving less quantity. कम पैसे मिल रहा है.
ओके, चलो लेस दे रहा है. बट अगर मेरे चांस जीतने के बढ़ जाते हैं तो इट में बी वर्थ. सपोज इफ ही सेज एक का चार दूंगा,
खेलना ही चाहिए.
Obviously.
तो क्या करना
होना
चाहिए?
चाहिए. करना चाहिए.
करना चाहिए. एनीबॉडी एल्स?
खेलना चाहिए सर.
खेलना
Yes, sir.
चाहिए.
खेलना चाहिए.
अच्छा, दो में नहीं खेलना चाहिए कि दो में
में भी
खेल
खेलना
सकते
चाहिए.
हैं?
खेलना चाहिए सर.
खेलना चाहिए.
प्रोबेबिलिटी कम है सर ना सर.
ज्यादा
मतलब
मिलेगा तो खेलो.
जितना लॉस होगा उससे ज्यादा मतलब जितना लॉस होगा वो
हाँ, दवा.
मतलब उसके रिवॉर्ड से कम होगा.
हाँ, लेकिन कोई मुझे एक्सप्लेन ठीक से बता दे कि उसमें किसमें ज्यादा फायदा है, किसमें कम फायदा है और क्यों. एक सही तरीके से मैं समझू कि आपने बराबर समझा प्रॉब्लम.
एक का चार मिलेगा सर, तो समझो 3 बार भी हार गए, चौथे बार में जीते तो वही हो गया. और एक में 2 मिलेगा तो फिर वो प्रोबेबिलिटी मतलब हारने की बहुत ज्यादा मैक्सिमम हो जाएगी.
लेकिन मैं एक और आपको नजरिया बताता हूँ जिससे कि आपको ज्यादा अच्छी तरह समझ में आ गया. वो एक का चार कभी ऑफर नहीं करेगा, क्योंकि अगर एक का चार ऑफर किया ना तो हम लोग 4 लोग जाएंगे. ठीक है, सॉरी, हम 3 लोग जाएंगे और तीनों लोग एक एक पत्ते के ऊपर पैसा लगाएंगे. समझे?
Okay.
एक ने पहले पत्ते पे 1 रुपया लगाया, एक ने दूसरे पत्ते पे 1 रुपया लगाया और एक ने तीसरे पत्ते पे 1 रुपया लगाया. तो आपने कितने पैसे लगाए दाव पे? 3 रुपये. लेकिन 3 में से एक तो जीतने वाला है, तो उसको जीतने पर 4 रुपये मिलेंगे. तो आप लोग 3 रुपया दाव पे लगाते हो, आपको रिटर्न में 4 रुपये मिलते हैं. तो ये डेफिनेटली आप जीतेंगे और जो आपके सामने ताश शफल कर रहा है वो हारेगा ही. तो वो 4 तो कभी नहीं ऑफर कर सकता. ओके, विद द सेम लॉजिक, इफ ही ऑफर्स एक का दो, देन यू आर डेफिनेटली एट ए लॉस. बट एक का 3 ऑफर कर रहा है, देन द बेट इज इवन. मतलब अभी आप 3 लोग जाके 1-1 रुपया लगाएंगे तो कोई ना जीतेगा ना हारेगा, क्योंकि 3 रुपए लगे 3 रुपए वापस आ जाएंगे। समझ में आया बात?
यस सर।
हाँ, so probability definitely yes, probability is going to play the role here. अभी ये एक रियल लाइफ सिचुएशन है। एक स्टूडेंट था, उसको एग्जाम में 5 MCQ पूछे गए। हर एक MCQ में 4 ऑप्शन है। ओके, वन ऑफ द ऑप्शन इज करेक्ट, और वो स्टूडेंट को कुछ भी नहीं आता था, तो उसने 5 आंसर्स रैंडमली टिक कर दिए।
जय माता दी।
जय माता दी। तो अभी उसके दोस्त ने उसको पूछा कि भाई ये क्वेश्चन नंबर 2 का आंसर क्या है, क्वेश्चन नंबर 4 का आंसर क्या है। उसने कहा भाई मुझे तो कुछ भी नहीं आता, मैंने तो 4-5 आंसर ऐसे ही मार्क कर दिए हैं। ठीक है, तो दूसरे दिन जब पेपर्स बांटे गए तो उसके तो 5-5 सही थे। तो उसका दोस्त तो नाराज हो गया, बोलता है तुझे कुछ भी नहीं आता था तो 5 सही कैसे हो सकते हैं? 1-2 सही हो मैं मानता भी हूँ कि भाई लक तुमको 1-2 सही मिल गए रेंडमली, लेकिन 5 सही कभी भी नहीं हो सकते, उसका दोस्त बोलता था। तो 5 रेंडमली टिक करने पर सही मिल सकते हैं या नहीं मिल सकते, मुझे कौन बताएगा?
तो मिल सकता है ना।
अच्छा, कैसे मिल सकता है बताओ। देखो रैंडम है, हाँ? मतलब ऐसा नहीं कि उसको आंसर पता है। जिसको आता है सब्जेक्ट और उसने अगर वो आंसर टिक किए और उसके सही हुए, वो बात नहीं कर रहे हैं हम, तो रैंडम चॉइस की बात कर रहे हैं। जिसको कुछ पता ही नहीं है वो तो ऐसे ही मार्क करके आ गया। इन दैट केस व्हाट इज द चांस दैट उसके 4 सही हो, 5 सही हो सकते हैं या नहीं हो सकते? कौन बता सकता है ये? इज देयर एनीवन हु नोज दिस?
नन ऑफ द अबव सर, अगर ऑप्शंस नन ऑफ द अबव है मेजरली।
अरे नहीं, वो पता नहीं अभी उसमें क्या लिखा था।
प्रोबेबिलिटी
जिसने
तो
चारों,
1/4।
हाँ हाँ हाँ, बताओ बताओ रोशन बोलो।
प्रोबेबिलिटी तो 1/4 होगी ना हर क्वेश्चन की।
हर एक क्वेश्चन की प्रोबेबिलिटी 1/4 है, मतलब क्या हुआ?
मतलब चारों में से एक ही सही है।
करेक्ट, वो तो बराबर है। तो
हाँ,
5 सही होने की प्रोबेबिलिटी क्या होगी?
5/4।
नॉट 5/6,
नो,
it will be, it will be 1/4 into 1/4 into 1/4 into
into
1/4 into
1/4।
1/4.
यस,
So
5 आंसर।
1/4 raised to 5,
यस,
which means 1 in 1024.
यस,
देखो नंबर ऑफ पॉसिबिलिटीज कितनी है और आंसर्स की। पहले में 4 पॉसिबिलिटी है, दूसरे में 4 है, तीसरे में 4 है। सो 4 into 4 into 4 into 4 into 4, 4 raised to 5, which is 1024 possibility. And you know that only one combination is correct.
यस।
So chances of your getting all answers correct, if you don't know the answers, is 1 in 1024. So it is not impossible. Okay? It may be very less likely, but it is not impossible.
यस।
Now go back to the perfume bottle. सारे परफ्यूम मॉलिक्यूल्स बॉटल में जा सकते हैं कि नहीं जा सकते हैं?
नो सर।
चांसेस कम है।
कितने का
एक
है?
एक पॉसिबिलिटी खाली 1 into 1000 ऑफ
बट वहां कहाँ 1024 है?
सर वहां पे
मॉलिक्यूल
बहुत
सर।
टाइम हो गया।
बहुत ज्यादा है मतलब।
इन्हीं है।
हाँ,
सर
तो
वो
यही हम,
ऑलमोस्ट जीरो हो जाएगा। 50% है सर, 50-50।
तो वही वही हमको डिस्कस करना है अभी। ओके, लेट्स लुक एट इट। एक और गेम खेलते हैं। 2 dice are thrown. If I throw 2 dice, my outcome is sum of the 2 numbers on the top surfaces. So what are the possibilities? If I throw only 1 die, my outcome can be any number from 1 to 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 possibility होती है. If I throw 2 dice, what are the
36.
possibilities for outcome?
36.
मतलब दोनों का सम कितना हो सकता है?
35 नहीं 35 पॉसिबिलिटी
36 possibility.
36 possibility.
लेकिन सम, अरे नंबर ऑफ पॉसिबिलिटी नहीं पूछ रहा हूँ, पॉसिबिलिटी पूछ रहा हूँ.
Maximum 12.
मैक्सिमम 12 होता है, मिनिमम कितना होता है?
2.
मतलब 11 पॉसिबिलिटीज है. The sum can be anywhere from 2 to 12.
Yes, sir.
Now, if I am to play this game like एक का 3, somebody throws 2 dice और आपको पैसे लगाने हैं, तो कौन से नंबर पे लगाना चाहिए? And what would be the best bet that the gambler can offer you?
Six.
हाँ जी,
6.
आप 6 पे लगाना चाहेंगे, अच्छी बात है.
Yes, sir.
और उसको वो आपको कितना ऑफर करे तो पैसा लगाना चाहिए? 1 का 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, क्या ऑफर करना चाहिए?
अकेला खेल रहा होगा तो कि
1 का
मतलब 3-4
36.
लोग.
हाँ हाँ, 1 का 36 क्या ऑफर करे क्या वो?
एक का 10. ऑफर करेगा.
Let's see. So your total outcome are 2 to 12. The possibilities of the combinations are 1, 1, which will give you sum 2, 1, 2, or 2, 1, which will give you sum 3. That's so to get sum 3, you have 2 possibilities. Then you can see the subsequently. And if you look at it, your sum 7 has 6 possibilities. अगर मुझे पैसा लगाना है तो मुझे 7 पे लगाना चाहिए. The chances of winning for total 7 will be highest. Is this point clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
मतलब
Yes, sir.
6 पे नहीं, 6 पे लगाया तो आपके हारने के चांस है, लेकिन 7 में हारने के चांस कम होते हैं, जीतने के ज्यादा होते हैं. और what should be the minimum return he should offer so that I can gamble? हाँ बोलो.
2.
कितने?
2 सर.
2? ओह नो 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 नो, 2 में तो मैं डेफिनेटली हारूंगा. सोचो ना, तुम्हारे सामने पूरा स्टेटिस्टिक्स टेबल लगा हुआ है.
Yes, sir.
There is again the typographic mistake and I should rectify it. Before. Yes, nobody? Record. If I want to gamble, I should gamble on 7 because 7 is the most likely number. Because amongst all the possibilities, 7 has the maximum possibility. 6 possibilities for 7. Out of how many possibilities total? 36. So my chance of getting it right is 6 out of 36, 1 in 6. So unless he offers me at least 6 times back, it's not worth gambling for number 7. If I want to gamble for number 7, the offer should be at least ek ka 6. Then only it can break even. Otherwise, it's a loss. Is this point clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
तो
Yes, sir.
सो अभी कोई आपको जिसको स्टेटिस्टिक्स पता नहीं है और आप कहे कि भाई देखो ये टॉस करो, 7 आने के चांस ज्यादा है, ज्यादा बार 7 ही मिलेगा आपको आंसर, तो जिसको पता नहीं बोलेगा अरे वाह तुम तो जादू कर रहे हो, तुमको ये कैसे पता कि यही होने वाला है. ऑलराइट, so the purpose of doing statistical physics or statistical mechanics is to be able to predict how the system is going to behave. Now for that we have to understand that system is made of large number of molecules, okay, point particles, and there is a way those point particles would get themselves distributed within the system. So we will start with something very simple. Suppose if I have 2 molecules, a box which is divided hypothetically into 2 equal halves. Okay, so let's say dotted line. And if I take photograph, what are the possibilities? ये जो possibility आपको दिखाई है ना वो सही नहीं है, सही है, सारी होगी possibility के और भी हो सकती है.
और हो सकती है सर.
अजय,
और हो सकती है.
और क्या possibility होगी? देखो या तो दोनों लेफ्ट,
उतनी ही पॉसिबिलिटी है सर.
Two balls at level.
just excuse me. एक मिनट. देखो मेरा लेक्चर चल रहा है. I'll call you back. Are there any other possibility that any one of you can think of?
No, sir.
No, sir. There
No,
is
sir.
only possibilities.
There is no possibility. So there are only 4 possibilities. Okay. So if I look at the gas, particles are indistinguishable. What will I see more number of times? Most of the time I will see 1 molecule on the left and more molecule on the right. 4 पॉसिबिलिटी में से 2 पॉसिबिलिटी ऐसी है कि दोनों साइड एक मॉलिक्यूल है और सिर्फ एक पॉसिबिलिटी लेफ्ट की है और एक पॉसिबिलिटी राइट की है. हैव आई मेड दिस पॉइंट क्लियर?
Yes, sir.
Right. Let's look at the next thing. Suppose if I have 4 molecules in 2 halves of a box. This picture may not be very good because the contrast is not good. But let's say I have 4 molecules. Okay. Again, here I have many possibilities. The possibilities are following. You'll have 1 molecule on the left, 3 on the right. Actually 0 molecules on the left, all 4 on the right, 1 on the left, 3 on the right, 2 on the left, 2 on the right, 3 on the left, 1 on the right, all 4 on the left, 1 on the right. So there are actually, how many possibilities will I have? If I have 4 molecules and they could be either on the left or on the right, how many possibilities will I have? Can somebody tell me? Yes, loudly.
16, sir.
Yeah, who is saying this?
16.
कौन बोल रहा है ये?
Lorita.
Lorita. 16 possibilities. Let's see. Yes, indeed,
Yes, sir.
there'll be 16 possibilities. Because this is like just tossing 2 coins. Either your outcome is head or tail. Either your molecule is to the left or it is to the right. So there are, for each molecule, there are 2 possibilities. 4 molecules, 2 raised to 4 possibilities. So you have 16 possibilities. How many cases favor you? this number which Roshan was talking about will work here now. So you take NCR. Okay, N is number of molecules, which are 4. R is how many you pick up to be on the left. So you can pick up 0 to be on the left. Then the way you can do that is only one way, 4C0. So that's 1 in 16. How many ways can you pick one molecule to be on the left side? You can pick it up in 4 ways. It could be molecule number 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. Bale indistinguishable ho. But probability will be 4 out of 16 possibilities. 2 on the left and 2 on the right. Just look at it. There are 6 possibilities. Okay. 3 on left is same as 1 on the left, because in this case 1 will be on the right. So the number of possibilities will be same. All 4 on the left, only 1 possibility. So you see, in the earlier case, when you had only 2, the number of possibility to have 1 on left and 1 on right were maximum. Now, number of molecules, 2 on the left and 2 on the right, number of possibilities are maximum. So if you are taking photograph of the system, you are more likely to get a photograph in which your system will show half of them on the left and half of them on the right. But with less number of molecules, it's not so clear. But when the number of molecules increase, let's say now there are 40 molecules. And if you want to see the possibilities, there will be n particles on the left. So you will have 40 Cn possibilities. There will be total 2 raised to n possibility. So probability that n particles are on the left hand side is 40 Cn divided by 2 raised to n. I'm showing you some numbers. I would like you to go home and check these numbers, because we are almost towards the end of the time, and we will begin from here onwards. So if I take 20 on the left and 20 on the right, the number of possibilities are 10 raised to 11, and 2 raised to 40 is 10 raised to 12. So if I look at the probability, it is 12%, actually 12.5%. This is almost 1/8. Okay, 1 in 8 possibility will show you half on the left, half on the right. But if you just take one more molecule or one less, that number of possibility or the probability will drop down. But look at 5. If I take 5 molecules less on the left, means 15 on the left or 15 on the right, each one will give me the possibilities. Okay, this number should have been 25, not 21. Again, there is a typographic mistake. Is only 2%. So as you go away from half-half distribution, your probability drops down. Okay, which means out of all the possibility, what most of the time you see is most likely situation. मतलब अगर आपको मैं 2:40 boxes दूं, each one representing one possibility, और एक आप randomly एक box उठा के लेके आए, so 12.5% of the time you will pick the box which has got half on the left and half on the right. This still doesn't look so good, but at least you can see that compared to my 2 particles and 4 particles, situation is much better here, much likely to have half of them on the left, half of them on the right. और वो half ना भी हो, 2-4 कम और ज्यादा हो, आपको दिखने में तो सेम ही दिखेगा, equal distribution. लेकिन normally when we talk about gases, we deal with 6 into 10 raised to 23, Avogadro's number, particles of that magnitude. So my n is of the order of 10 raised to 23, and I'm talking about possibilities which is 2 raised to n. That's a huge number, astronomical number. Okay, and therefore, if you see a gas anytime and you look at hypothetically, you will see half of them on the left and half of them on the right, equally distributed. So even if you start with all the gas molecule on one side, the moment you lift the partition, they will all expand till half of them are remaining on the left, the other half goes on the right. So that's the most likely state. In terms of physics, so far what we have been doing, we say system evolves in the direction of increase in entropy. तो ये जो गैस expand हो रहा है, the gas, the way it is expanding into two halves is the way it will go for maximizing the entropy. It will go in the state of highest entropy. But counting says that it goes in most of the time. We observe those states which are most likely, so where probabilities are maximum, which means this maximizing entropy and maximizing probability seems to have some connection. And we will be coming to that. Okay. So at this point, I'm going to stop my session. And next time we meet, we will start with serious statistical mechanics. So far what we covered was some review of thermodynamic properties and some statistics that we saw. At least that tells us that why gas gets equally divided. And then now we will talk about what happens to perfume bottle. And I would like you to think about perfume bottle. So we will stop here. Thank you very much. For more information about our activity and videos, you can visit our website, infinitelearning.org. I would also request you to subscribe our YouTube channel, Dr. Modi's Infinite Learning, if you are interested, so that you can get the information about new videos which are being posted.